flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, the approval of minutes, I got. I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes since our last regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
A motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Bushinsky. Is there any discussion? Ms. Burnett?
Yes.
Mrs. Thorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Bushinsky?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims.
I'll make the motion, we approve the claims.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Bushinsky, seconded by Mrs. Thorsky to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mr. Burnett?
Yes.
Mr. Thorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Bushinsky?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. As part of the requirement for our community crossings grant, I have to say that the ADA Title VI grievance forms, as well as a voluntary public involvement survey, are available. Hang on the wall files, anyone interested. We have to read that every month for the ADA, for the requirements for the community crossings grant. So mark that off, things to do. Utilities, MCO report.
Everybody should have a copy of my report. Small tower demolition, we received a quote today, so I don't think we're probably ready to act on that. So we can have that reviewed and hopefully discuss it at the next meeting. We did have the drinking water site sampling plan was finally approved by IDM. The Surfair fiber optic project still in construction. The locating work has been extremely hectic with all the fiber going on and some of the other things, the roundabout project. Adam's been literally swamped just with locates. We'll get 20 a day sometimes. It's just crazy. So we did have several discussions with Reese Riley regarding the water main project, installing about 300 feet of line to eliminate a potential problem there in front of the treatment plant in the intersection of Main Street and Highway 2. I'm really not sure where they're at with that. They've already installed the water main already, so frustrated is about all I can say. I talked to them 4 or 5 months ago, thought we had it, looking at it, take care of it, and I don't know what's going on. So they said they're going to get a price still to do it. It shouldn't be that hard to do. I think we can tie into a small section of duct wire and water main that we can do it in H&G. And we may just need to get H&G out there later and just have them do it. But it really, in my opinion, is something that needs to be done. Sooner or later, we're going to have water main break in there, and it's just so close, and it's under some of the storm sewers. The intersection that was put in during the treatment plant when it was upgraded last time, and it will be a pain, if not extremely expensive to repair if we can't make that change. But I'll keep you up to the rest of that. We did have 2 more water main breaks in the old section of town. They're just sheer water main breaks. They're just cracking, and that's all I can say. The roundabout project is taking place. They are installing water main. They'll be doing the culvert replacement also during this. Hopefully, they open cut across the road. Hopefully, they'll allow Bowman to open cut during the so we can replace the effluent line out of the treatment plant. I know that's still being discussed. As far as the wastewater goes, I've got gas Voda coming in tomorrow to look at the flow meter, and then we're going to do a drawdown test. I think we can, instead of charging what we're doing, we can at least come up with a better idea until we can get a flow meter installed at that lift station, so they'll be paying closer to what they should be paying for that. one of the other issues that we ran into this is we had some, we did have a little bit of an issue with the Fieldstone subdivision as far as locating where some of the utilities are. I'm working quite a bit on finding out what's going on. And the existing maps that we have don't seem to be accurate at all. So we're trying to figure out where they're at, and some of the manholes we've ended up finding they're about a foot in the ground. So we're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. It's not going to be easy at all, but I think we can, we'll try getting it done within the next month or two. As far as the wastewater treatment plant goes, the improvements are moving very quickly now. The lift station at Correctional Center, the lift station and screenings buildings, probably about 90% complete. With most of the building construction complete. Force main's 99% complete. The wastewater plant, the solids buildings, I'd say is about 85% complete. We did start the sludge press up. It's operating extremely well. We finally did get the approval from Republic so we could start hauling, so have sludge at least hauled to the landfill. We've hauled out a lot of, quite a few loads. We did have to spend about $20,000 several months ago to haul liquid out. The disposal costs are a fraction of that now, so it's a very good investment. A lot of the piping's been done. We did have to do planned shutdowns at the treatment plant for that. The dewatering continually. Probably doing to start pouring a lot of concrete for the oxidation dish. We'll be starting the clarifier and the solids handling building also. So it should be continue to see a lot more work going on. So that's all I've got.
Okay. Any questions on anything? Just a couple things. Baker Tilly estimates that by the end of this month or the first week of August, they should have a preliminary rate estimate for hooking in Correctional Center for water. So we'll probably be talking to DOC probably by the mid to late August. We got Baker Tilly reports. First one, as you recall last month, the state of Indiana has dropped the utility receipts tax, and we had to have a rate study to determine what percentage that would be on our rates. For example, the savings for a minimum bill is 32 cents a month. It'll take us years to pay that rate study, but we have to do it. So, of course, the more water you use, the more you'll save. So that's, let the faucets run tonight, people. It came to about 1.3% is what it came to. And it's broke down by consumption and everything. So I would like to make a motion that we instruct Baker Tilly to draft a rate ordinance for this.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Albert, seconded by Ms. Kelly to have Baker Tilly go ahead and do a rate ordinance for the 1.3% savings. And we'll get it to Doug for review and then hopefully have it by the next meeting. Okay. Deb did. So is there any comments on that rate study? Mr.
Yes.
Burnett? Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Thorsky, Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. Okay. We've had several things we've had Baker Tilly look at. We had them do a leaf and limb pickup study. I think Jim talked to them about this. What it is Used to be when we had limbs and branches, it went to the compost at the correctional center. Now they gotta go to behind the fairgrounds, and it's, price of fuel, it's expensive. So they're talking about doing a surcharge to pay for that for people to leave their, or have their branches, leaf and limb picked up. And it would come, the proposed monthly rate would be $2.33, which doesn't offset by the savings of the 32 cents on the minimum bill. But that's something I think we need to talk about, get some community input. That's something they want. So what it would be, $2.33 a month to be on there, and it's to all your branches and limbs and all that, because it is, you know, if they're picking up branches and blow a hydraulic hose, you know, that's expensive.
Just the price of propane is outrageous, and we make probably 3 trips on Monday, and maybe towards the end of the week, if they are slack and see more stuff out, they'll pick it up early and go back. And now with the fair on, they're going around the back way.
Yeah, could take a week with the fair.
Not getting to just taking it out here.
So we got that for your thoughts. Everybody should have got a copy of that, right? Sent to them. So you want to think that over. There's also one, and this Tom Fath started this when he was on the council, and what it is, and I'm sure you guys probably know, maybe you don't. It's a public fire protection surcharge. And what it is, it's to raise more money because of the cuts we have to raise, it'd be a surcharge that would be on a monthly water bill for customers that would be used for fire protection. And that would be, and they do it by meter size and everything. It would be a $3.26 a month, which is $39, less than $40 a month would be for that. Now, as a sidebar to that, we're going to be doing a rate study for the sewage plant when WCC is up on that. If they hook into the water, we're going to be doing a rate study for that. Now, there's a program, it's called a pilot funding. And what it is you look at our utilities, there's a lot of capital there, a lot of value that if it was a private business, we'd be bringing in a tax rate on it. But it's an asset the town has that really the town gets no, the corporation gets no benefit from. I mean, you get water, but for taking up that amount of property and those assets, the town gets no recovery on it like they would be if it was a warehouse or if it was Indiana American Water, like in South Haven has. So what they do is they build into the rate pilot. I don't know if it's called a pilot program, it's pilot. But what it is they figure a rate, and then every year they pay the town revenue would be lost like from taxes. Based off of the valuation. So, you know, you look at the value of the sewage plant and the water plant, that's quite a bit. And they're limited on the amount they can draw. They couldn't tax or put this pilot in for $100,000 a year because it's up to there's a level on it, which I don't know offhand, and it might be they have to figure the value up to get what that amount is. So we can put this in, this $40 a year, 39 and some change, or we can wait and incorporate it in with the rates. Now I'm going to tell you, you're going to have, I'm amongst friends, you're going to have people complaining because they're going to pay $2 more a month or $3 more a month. It's going to be an easier sell. They're dropping water and sewer rates to do this. We can hold off on this for funding because we still have some of the ARP money we can use and things like that. So I mean, it's not a decision we can make tonight, but your thoughts, because you guys are benefiting from it.
My thoughts would be whichever was more beneficial is what we
want to pursue.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an easier sell without putting a surcharge on. And we can, down the road, if it doesn't work out, we can put the surcharge on. So you think, 625, well, it's based on meter size, what the amount would be. But, $3, $40 a year. Which,
Per home.
right,
Right.
right.
Which is, how much money is that gonna generate?
Figure, well, I can tell you here real quick,
Just, I mean,
about 31,000.
okay.
A little less, 30,940, it's all estimated depending on how many customers you have that month, but that's the estimated.
And the other option would be to put in with the sewage plant and water plant?
Well, what it would be figured on the rates where the utility would pay the town for the value of the plants, of their physical plant. Which you'd be getting it from water and sewer. I don't know what the cap would be, but with the volume that we're gonna have with the sewer and the water, if they hook in, it's gonna be minimal adjustment rates. The rates are probably gonna drop anyway. So it's gonna be an easier sell telling people, you're gonna get that money in here for that as opposed to that.
And I would assume that would be more beneficial monetary wise.
More than the 39?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would think, so. And an educated guess, yeah.
Right. That's just my thought. I would rather pursue that. It's
Right.
gonna benefit-
It's gonna be an easier sell.
It's an easier sell and it's gonna benefit us more.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's gonna be more of a known value. Because this is gonna fluctuate, we're not going from 600 customers to 500 a month.
Right.
But it's estimated, whereas the amount you're bringing in on the pilot
It's more regulated,
is X amount of dollars a year. Right.
Yeah.
more
That would be
fixed,
my thought.
more fixed.
So we'll hold off on this right now. Now, the third or fourth one they did, it's for the garbage pickup rates. That doesn't involve the fire department. Jason, where you live, do you have monthly garbage? Do you pay for, what's it run you, do you know?
Well, I want to say it was $100 every 6 months through waste management.
Waste management?
Yeah.
Because I know some people are paying 40 or, what are you paying, Nate? You know?
I do the yearly and it's like $230.
So 115 every 6 months.
So, okay.
So same thing, he's got 100 through 6 months, and he's got 115 every 6
Probably
months.
depends who the provider
I
is.
got it all.
Oh, you got Republic at yours, okay. So they did a rate study, and usually what you do in the garbage, you do it so it will extend out over a period of time, so you're not raising it every year or whatever, okay? And we're paying, what's it now, Lori? $11, and Baker Tilly did the estimated and putting it out where you have a reserve and everything, $16.64 a month, which is still pretty cheap. So that one we're gonna have to act on because the money is running low on that and bids come up in this fall. Oh, okay. Okay, so we got the extension in there. So this we are gonna have to do. I was hoping we do it the same,
192.
we do it the same time frame that we did water and sewer rates, but with the plant running a little behind, it isn't gonna work that way. So I will make a motion that we instruct Baker Tilly to do a rate ordinance for the garbage pickup. I'll make it, okay, motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Bashinsky to instruct Baker Tilly for the rates, rate ordinance for the garbage pickup. Any discussion? Mr. Burnett?
Yes.
Mrs. Poforski?
Yes.
Mr. Bushinsky?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. We talked probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll know more on the rates. And if not, we can go over this, we don't have to do it tonight, but that's what's out there.
Just real quick, Mike.
Sure.
Would that be in addition to contract money or to replace contract money?
Addition to, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't mean that we'd use it all, but I mean, it would.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we're good on that. Anything else on utilities? That was kind of long-winded tonight. Think about the leaf, on and leaf pickup, and we can act on that. We're getting late here in the
So
year.
that would be in addition to the garbage, so that'd be,
It would be, instead of paying $10, you're paying 16.
for garbage. And then this
We
is
could-
separate.
Right, this is us picking. The leaf, the limb and leaf is our guys pick that up. They go around Mondays, usually Mondays, and pick up branches and leaves and all sorts of biodegradable things. Okay, streets.
Only thing I have right now is, Bubba's got an employee that he wants to employ, take Joe's place. And he can be part-time right now, because he's going to college, starting in office or whatever, out here. But he's interested in the, down the road, full-time. But we would like to increase the pay from, I think it was 13 something.
13 for part-time.
Yeah, for part-time to 15. And talked to Lori, money's there to.
Okay, because we haven't
Because we
paid
had-
Joe for months.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a change for the salary ordinance, which we can draw that up next month, right? For the next meeting we have. So, go ahead, I'll make a motion that we change the salary ordinance.
Second.
Amend the salary.
Amend.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Shinsky to amend the salary ordinance and have it ready for our next meeting. Any discussion? Mr. Burnett?
Yes.
Mrs. Poforski?
Yes.
Mr. Bushinsky?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. Parks.
So it was brought to our attention that, Little League will probably no longer be using the little Main Street Park. And, Bubba has been talking to them. So it looks like they're in the works of possible closure of Main Street Park. So,
He said they've been, older kids have been down there hitting baseballs against the building and some of the
Albert
equipment.
kid, was it?
No, but he said Henry kind of picked them up. It's just not being used, so eventually we want to put a storage building there for all the equipment that's sitting outside now.
Did the Little League put that fence up?
I think we did, didn't we? It's been years ago.
It's been a while, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good thought. We leave the little parking thing there and the
Yeah, that'll be
recharge,
touched.
charging station. Okay, anything else on parks? Police, good evening.
434 in June. Last month I kind of briefed you guys, we're starting a wellness program initiative. What that's going to look like, we're kind of developing as we go. I looked up some stats. As of today, there's been 68 suicides officers in the United States. So what I am doing is I'm partnering with a entity out of Valparaiso and Maryville. It's called Pillars of Wellness. It's a mental health facility. They do counseling services, psychoeducational services, stuff along those natures. What we're brainstorming right now is a yearly wellness check for the guys and gals that are on the department. Just to kind of touch base with them, they can choose to go and spill their guts and talk about everything that's going on in their lives, or they can say, you know, everything's fine. And then on top of that, like I said, with the psychoeducational component, we are looking at grant funding for that through either Healthcare Foundation or Unity to basically have a retainer set up so that we can fund this moving forward. Had a good showing. We participated with the Red Wine and Brew, had a canine demo out there, and then Chief Deputy Walker and I participated in the report parade this year. It was a fun experience. Joe really enjoyed himself. So that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have anything? Okay. Yeah, I read the other day, we got a thing at work, the suicide rates for police officers and correctional officers are.
It's down this year from where we were last year, but it's up a lot higher in the last 5 years than it was the previous. Our rates are switched to where we're not being killed by homeless acts or car accidents really anymore. It's suicide in the last, probably since about 2015, those have been at the top or the top two. So I'd like to curb that, and there's not a lot of these types of programs in our area, so trying to be a little innovative. I've explained to the guys, I never want to have that phone call. That's something that I'm very trying to dissuade. I don't think that's an issue. I think everyone's right now pretty well squared away, but like I said, I'd rather put in the effort now rather than have to deal with it later.
Is that something maybe we could pull in together with?
Yeah, they're looking at it as all first responders. The individuals I'm working with, their background is actually in corrections. They did they're two psychiatrists that they did their internships through Lake County Jail. So they're very police friendly. They're actually sponsoring a walk, run, 5K, end of September, start of October. It's a nonprofit called Topline. Basically, it's a bunch of retirees that are trained in listening, and they, I've let the guys know, I've shared the information, the phone number if they ever needed to talk, but with mandatory reporting with a lot of entities, and the fact of our sheer size, we can't really do a peer support program within, because the second you start talking to someone, I'm going to figure out who it is, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just not practical for us at our size. So it's across the country, and it's a 24-hour, and it's a free service for the guys.
We did finally get our 501c3 status,
Okay.
so if it's something we could go on together
Yeah.
to secure funding, you and I can work together with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. I'll touch base with them. They're working up a proposal right now to really kind of craft, like I said, there's nothing around here like this, so we can craft something that will fit our needs, and we can replicate that to other agencies or nobody. I mean, I'd just rather us have it.
Good idea. Thanks, Nate. Anything else on police? You guys have anything? Finance?
No.
Westville Volunteer Fire Department, how you doing, guys?
Living great.
You know, nightmares are dreams too.
Yeah.
That's what we always say.
40 calls last month, 14 town limits, 19 in Durham Township, 7 in Jackson, 0 mutual aid, 3 vehicle fires, 26 were medical related calls, 5 motor vehicle accidents with injuries, 1 gas leak, 3 we were canceled en route, and 3 service calls. Truck update, nothing really new since last month. We've had a little bit of working on it. Basically what happened is we had a shortage on axles. They went ahead and started working on other trucks and kind of pushed us back a little bit, which is understandable. So by the way it seems, we're hoping maybe the end of August, which was originally supposed to be the beginning of June. It all depends with supply chain issues. Now there is a shortage on fire hose couplings. Apparently there's a brass shortage throughout the United States now too, so, yeah. I don't really know what's next that we could run short on, but that's the newest one.
We'll be lucky if it's here for the parade.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
What was that?
So we'll be lucky if it's here by the parade.
I think somebody said that a few months ago.
Yeah.
Said in this area here, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I heard the price of brass went down. Has anybody heard that?
Well, yeah, because nobody can get it, so.
Yeah, it's real cheap now. When they get it in, the price goes
Right.
up. Yeah,
So we hold in real estate to do that.
They told me water meters are like 9 months out.
Gee. What's ductile out? Are they giving a,
They are going, end of 23, if you order now, about a year.
What about, the HDPE? Is that quicker?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Whatever we decide to go with is what the shortage
It
is
is
gonna be.
ugly. I mean, right.
We have home testing signed up for July 19th. This is supposed to be the final date. Supposedly they're not going to cancel it this time. We'll see how it goes. Apparently they have a shortage of workers as well, pretty much like everybody else.
They're out looking for couplings.
Yeah, probably. I wanted to take a second and thank Nate and his officers. We've had a few instances on Commercial Drive with some parking issues. One night I got a hold of Dylan. We had a car that was actually parked right in front of the hydrant as we were trying to do training. We were kind of doing a little different thing with water flow, stuff like that, and that was one of the hydrants I wanted to use. Dylan was on top of it, he went with us, he took care of what he needed to do. I know I've talked to Nate a couple of times about it. Seen those guys out there a lot more. We'll continue to work with them if we see stuff out there. But from a board standpoint, is there anything you guys can do with Commercial Drive? The day after I had Dylan out there, I got a picture message from one of my guys, and Commercial Drive was jammed on both sides. You couldn't fit a
Tickets.
small size pickup through there.
There was parking on one side. They know it. They're not gonna follow that. Write the tickets. There has to be warnings at first, but
Yeah,
that's why we put parking on one side, just for this.
that's. Can we
But
get-
where that hydrant is it got yellow on the curb, by the way?
I don't know, and that's something I was gonna ask, if we could put some kind of striping on the road,
Yeah.
or, paint the curb yellow, that's kind
Didn't
of.
wear off.
Signage. It won't, and it shouldn't wear off where it's not on a drive lane. It'll
Yeah.
last quite a while.
There's two hydrants over there. One's down by the bank entrance down there.
Right.
And then there's the other one that's south by the, behind Casey's, more or less.
Behind the open lot there.
Oh, okay.
Around the back
Yeah,
side of the
so
lot.
you'll check and have Bubba find out what it is.
That's usually, that one's the one that's the worst offender. We don't
Behind
see people parking in front of that one, that open field right there.
On your, hose testing,
Yes,
you guys, I went out to Prairie Meadow one year.
yes.
Is-
We're gonna do it back behind the school just because we have a hydrant there.
Okay, I was gonna
The
say,
reason we
you out
did Prairie
there.
Meadow that year was because school was still in.
Was that what it was? I remember you
Yeah.
guys went out there. Okay, if something would come up, you need to move or use that for something, go ahead.
Okay, we'll let you guys know for sure.
Anything else, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
You kind of mentioned the ARP fund. What is our status on that? I know we had talked to you guys back in December.
Right, we're waiting, is everything paid up out of that? We're still waiting on a couple outstanding bills on that first draw.
Because we are, unfortunately, we talked to you, we're looking at support vehicle wise, we're 9 months out if we order one at least. Without, a fleet vehicle or something like that, we're going to put extra stuff on too, so.
Yeah, as soon as we get that paid off, I'll get with you.
We were the same mercy as you guys, we're waiting.
Yeah.
That's why, so.
The electronic stuff, is that what's way out?
Yep, the consoles themselves, like where we put our lights and sirens and stuff, they said minimum 8 weeks, and that was about 6 weeks ago.
Stuff that you wouldn't think
And we can't do anything without them.
that would take a while. I mean, it seems like it'd be somebody fabricating with a break.
Yeah, like it'd be relatively in stock.
Yeah.
And I know Bruce is having a lot of issues because he had someone quit a few months ago, and he wasn't making an excuse, but it's been very easy every time I've got a question. But we're hanging in limbo. I've done everything on my end as far as we can get. I mean, just kind of waiting for them.
And on that, electronics, where we go to, he's got stuff on order since April of 2021 that he still don't have. And they told him when he does get it, it's gonna be at today's prices. He said, how can they do that?
Yeah.
I quoted the town of Westville, so much money for this, how can I go to them now when it's a year later and I gotta pay the new prices?
I mean, it's not his fault.
No.
We ran into that with our truck too. Alexis wanted to jump, or the manufacturer of the chassis wanted to jump the cost up.
Well, he did, they jumped the cost up $7,000 of the bare Freightliner going to Spartan. They charged them $7,000 more, and they absorbed it, Alexis has absorbed it. Said, we can't charge it, in fact, the truck's been paid for it.
Yeah.
The truck's been paid for since last July.
Yeah, well, try buying a car you don't pay sticker price for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is he 24 months out?
Yeah,
Last thing I have, sorry, is,
Problem.
proposed budget for 2023, since we have to, start looking at contracts.
okay.
I can either give to you, Laura,
Yeah,
whatever.
Whatever floats your boat.
I can give to either one of you guys at the end, it's fine.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I hope things run smooth on getting that truck.
It should, because like I say, we signed for it last July. They should have everything to build it. They custom make all the panels and everything right there in-house.
Just getting the material to make the stuff with.
Yeah, and the truck itself has gained, we paid $716 right now, today, it's $850,000 for the same truck, and it's 450 days to build.
Which we're gonna be about 450 by the time we're done.
Well,
What's chlorine running for? Have you had any trouble getting chlorine? Oh, because that's,
That gas.
I know that's,
I remember it was for pools last summer, everybody was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the garage and stuff.
yeah. I know you guys use 150-pound cylinders, right? Is that what you guys do?
Here, yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of the other places we use
yeah.
it's been.
We got a thing today that bulk salt, I don't mean like a truck of salt, but like a pallets with, I don't know, was there 64 bags on there? You can count when you order it, count for at least 4 weeks on delivery after they receive the order.
We're trying to get sodium chloride and sulfuric acid, because we're gonna make white dioxide at the treatment plant. And I can't get anybody to even give me a price.
Doesn't make the brass coupling seem so bad.
Yeah, right, yeah. Might as well throw everything in the list while we're at
That's
it.
exactly right. It's
Okay, thank you, guys, appreciate you. ADA transition plan, is that what we've already,
Kind of have to approve it.
okay. We have the ADA, Title VI ADA implementation plan that we have to approve. I'll make a motion that we approve the ADA transition plan, Title VI implementation plan.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Bashinsky. Any discussion? Yeah, what is this? Sorry. This, oh, I'm sorry. This is for the grant we get for the community crossings. This is some of the hoops we have to jump through for that. And it's like ADA.
Compliance with sidewalks and
Yeah, like the ramps, the sidewalks, and
how they're sloped when they're
all that.
installed.
The rumble
Wheelchair
strips
accessible.
at the end, they work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, you're good. Any other questions or discussions? Mr. Burnett?
Yes.
I knew that would convince you.
Yes.
Mrs. Tversky, Mr. Brzezinski?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything else? Okay, thanks for coming out on this.
I do have one quick thing for you. It's a short.
I'm messing with you.
I promise. Are you guys looking at buying utilities out of the Conservancy, South Coast? The reason I ask is they keep having it on their meeting minutes, and I haven't had a chance to sit.
No, well, here's informally, we approach them to see if they would be interested in selling. They said they weren't, correct me if I'm wrong, they weren't actively doing it, but they would be open for an offer.
Gotcha.
My standpoint is that if we get the utility, the utilities would have no benefit because we're already getting revenue on it. Where the town's advantage would be is if we did that, this is my opinion, if we did it and say, okay, we're gonna buy the utilities, but before we do that, we want you to sign that you remonstrate against annexation. You won't, because that's the only advantage we would have of getting at is being able to annex.
Draw the tax base off of it.
Bring the tax base, because that would be all new money. And it would drop your sewer rate, your water bill every month. And you pay a surcharge you pay a tax rate.
Right.
For them, and then is it an annual fee too you pay?
No, it's just all.
It's built in your tax rate. Then that would go away.
Does
Where do I need to
does
sign
that help pay the bond down though, is what he's paying, does that help pay their bond? 'Cause they're- they
Yeah,
have a-
yeah, why your rates are high is what they're doing is paying. for
Right,
the-
paying the bond,
And
yeah.
they try doing it in 20 years rather than spread it
Yeah, I
out.
think it's got like 7 years left. or
Yeah,
6 like
rather
that.
than 30
Oh,
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's what it is. I would like to do, but I wouldn't want to bring up a bunch of debt on utilities to buy it.
Right.
From that, but from the annexation standpoint, because I don't know if they really want to stay in the utility business, that has to be a pain.
Okay.
But that's what, I had Doug check, I asked Doug about it, had him check with him to see what it was.
Yeah, like I said, they keep having it on their meeting minutes, I just haven't had a chance to sit through one of their meetings yet.
So, and I don't know what the consensus is of your neighbors.
I know the ones I've talked to would be more than happy to sign their name on the dotted line.
Okay.
Jason, can I ask you what your bill, water bill on?
Our water bill is usually around 180 for the three of us.
Is that like, do they have a minimum, like amount, like, minimum bill? You know, if you roughly know how many gallons a month you use.
I know that ours usually runs around 180, 190. Yeah,
That's really high.
yeah.
It seems like it's really.
It's like ours, you take away the garbage, you know, I mean, ours is higher because of the garbage.
Right. Yeah, and that doesn't even include our garbage. That includes absolutely nothing other than water and sewer.
Sewer.
So their rates are,
Well, remember a while back, that one guy when we stopped in, what,
Yeah, when we
$400,
dropped our,
was it?
when we dropped our water rates, I don't know if you were living out there yet or not, but these people that live there came to the meeting, I don't remember who it was now, Harley Snyder, who was on the board, was there,
Yeah, I talked to him.
and wanted a bigger rate cut, but when they dropped, their rate dropped 21% from the water they were buying from us, they didn't pass that on to you guys.
No, of course not.
It just, I don't know, pay down the debt more or something, I don't know, but, and it's unusual, because usually when you do a project like that, a water system lasts for years. So they usually go out 30 years on the bond because it's gonna be here 30 years. It's not like getting a 15-year loan on a car that in 10 years the car is a bucket of bolts. So I don't know why they made it such a short period.
Well, I can tell you that from everybody I've talked to, they would sign
Okay.
it.
That's,
Take on the annexation.
so, okay, yeah, that's a good question. So, yeah, that's good to know that the natives are not restless on that, yeah. Yeah.
One question or idea on Commercial Drive. I know it's continually been a problem with the parking. How much easement does the town have on the east side of that property that's never been, the part behind Casey's and what's now going to be the old LaPorte Savings Bank there? How much easement do you guys have?
To the west?
To the west? Could you allow for, is it enough to allow for parking straight in, have them pull in at an angle?
Like stall parking? you're talking
Yes.
about?
What kind of, like,
Like stall parking.
diagonal?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
because it's gonna, with those apartment buildings being there, it's gonna continue to be a problem. There's, I mean,
Oh, diagonal.
Yeah, I'd have to, I don't, just to guess, I wouldn't think there's a lot, but I can look at, Beacon.
I don't know.
The apartments
Part
go
of
on
it,
that?
there's a lot.
I don't know if he owns those lots on the west side or not.
But, you know, if you went from the end of the road to the fire hydrant on Commercial, it had angled parking in there, so they pulled in, so they were far enough off the road, they could still have places to park for those apartment buildings and not block up the road.
They should have never let him put streets in that narrow. That's,
Well, and it's gonna get worse because someday that guy's gonna build to the north there. Because when I was on BZA, he had that rezoned and everything else. You know what I'm talking about?
is that Brett
Go all-
Carney?
go all the way
Yeah,
to
Brett, is that Brett
Commercial
Carney?
Drive,
Yeah.
and then turn right. That's
Like if
his
you're coming out of
road.
McDonald's, the back way of
That's
McDonald's.
his road, and he's got, you know, the property back there for duplexes or something, I remember. So it's gonna get busier than it already is.
I can look here real quick afterwards. Okay, I'll find out. I don't think there is, but that's just a guess on my part. I've guessed quite a bit, so.
Okay. And then I had one more question. When is the budget workshop, the public
The hearing?
budget, no, the actual workshop you guys decide, and the one that we got the minutes to a few years back?
It's usually in August, usually when you kind of know what numbers you're going to be having for the next year.
Okay, so will it be after you guys announce that at the meeting, at the council meeting in August? Is it going to be after?
When the workshop will be?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's announced in the meeting when the workshop is.
It's the night of the meeting?
No.
No, we'll announce the meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to.
Like, if we know, we should know.
I don't have no idea for sure, can't set a date on that, 'cause I don't have the figures, so.
Okay, I was just
We're not
curious.
sure yet.
I know it's usually in August, and I know it's coming up, I just want to make sure we have somebody there.
It's a lot more fun than 7 or 8 years ago when you didn't even know if you're getting money for the next year. I'll take a look. Anything else, guys? Dan?
Didn't we
Jim?
set a bid meeting for the old town hall that was gonna accept bids?
No, we're gonna contact, we've got to decide if we can get a realtor or a auctioneer. I think we ought to go with a realtor. Have them come out, a commercial realtor.
But an auctioneer would be a good time.
Yeah, you might have somebody come bid 50 cents on it, and then you're screwed. You put a reserve on it though, but,
Bring her wagon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yes.
so, yeah, unless anybody has an objection, we'll get a hold of a realtor, commercial realtor,
Open up a restaurant.
have them look at it, put a price on it, we'll go from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
financial advisor.
How long was it on there?
Donor.
Yeah.
It's been on there.
Open a restaurant in 2020.
Well, we had it where we were selling the property.
Oh, yeah,
First time we did it was when COVID hit,
right.
and then we did it
Yeah.
this spring, right? It was in the
I
spring?
can't hear.
We did it in the spring, right? Put it in the paper,
Put it in the paper.
bid it out, yeah, didn't have anything, so. Okay. We'll look at it then. Anything else? I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Mashinsky to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Being none, meeting adjourns at 7:47.